Yes. Okay, let's open this menu. Let's load the ROM. I've named the files with MSX now. I don't know what that warning said, but there we go. This looks a lot like the Famicom title screen. But this is the MSX version of Dragon Slayer 4. So what we had was the MSX2 version. I didn't realize this when I was playing it, but it is the original version of this game. However, it seems they were developing at the same time, and in tandem, a Famicom version, which released like 2 months later or something like that. It has some significant revisions in some places, but it's essentially the same game. And then, a few months later, again, they ported the Famicom version to the original MSX for people that didn't have quite so new a computer. And that's the version we're playing today. And then, I think like 2 years later, Broderbund in the USA decided to pick this game up and called it Legacy of the Wizard, released it on NES. And that's based on the Famicom version. It's not changed very much at all from that. So the MSX one will probably look a lot like the Famicom one without scrolling and, with kind of different color setup. MSX one had much more limited colors than Famicom or NES or MSX2. So, with that out of the way, let's see how this goes. Okay, so here's the family. Pochi's up here. Where's the... Oh, Grandma's over here. Grandpa's over here. Oh, that's a weird looking... Okay, so this isn't gonna matter, but yeah, I will need the keyboard where I can reach it because the MSX joystick only has 2 buttons, so I can't like pause the game and switch weapons without hitting enter on the keyboard. Though I can play with the keyboard. Shift and Z are apparently the keys. So I think I'm just gonna do my usual order. I'm deciding how confident I feel. I like Zaman first because he gets a bunch of stuff. I don't know. I'm just gonna send Pochi out to get the glove. That's... Why can't I, Oh, you better let me select Pochi. Really? Wait, can I not play as Pochi? Go back into the house. Oh, it just wasn't working. Pochi almost looks like a ghost. It's all white. Well, away we go. So there should be nothing over here, yeah. That's interesting. So we're standing here, like 1 tile away from the edge of the house, and we touch this. So we're in exactly the same place, but shifted a little. Check this shop. 95 and 50, so that's the normal. Should go check out the castle. There's our nice castle. And down into the dungeon we go. Gonna collect a few keys here. Wow, these enemies are a bit hard to see against that background. They're monochromatic. So it looks like they've used 2 layers for the characters. So you have a black layer and then 1 color. But all the enemies are just a single color. So you can kind of see through their lines. And that's just an MSX thing, like I guess they didn't want to waste so many sprites on every enemy, so they only reserved that extra black color for the main characters. Let's see what the inn looks like. Inn charge 10 GP. So that's not in Japanese either. I haven't actually played the... do I want to grab that gold? I think so. Just grab another key. I have 1 spare. Oh, she doesn't need the ring. Oh, she's got a permanent ring. So they've done away with all the life bars, and it's just numbers now. This isn't a ladder, is it? It is a... No, I'm climbing on an enemy. So enemies in this game work kind of like ladders. Alright, the layout here looks just like the NES version. I swear Pochi wasn't... Oh, that was poisoned. Oh, that is hard to see in this version. That's funny. Okay, how did that enemy get hit by me? I did not attack. I did not. So what's in this shop? Yeah, nothing good. So, because of the route I'm taking, I don't really think I need much from the shops. Maybe I'll take a quick trip down into Pochi's dungeon. Or you know what? Salmon can do that. I'll send Zayman in. Because in Pochi's dungeon there's a nice shop where both items are cost of 35. So you get a magic potion and an elixir. And that's a good thing to start off with. I guess I should be peeking into these treasure chests, but I have a feeling they're... yeah. I think they're all going to be exactly the same as the NES version. So maybe not much reason to check them out. So I'm assuming this is going to play pretty similar. So, like, the ladder is still as fickle as before. It's kind of like only 1 or 2 pixels wide. So if you want to jump off it, you gotta jump and then press a direction. So this should be a magic fill up. I don't even have a key. Oh, I've been wasting keys to peek in the, yeah. So I don't need that. Yeah, I'll take that glove home, and then we'll do Zayman. I think I'm pretty comfortable with the route I've been doing. Just because Zayman first, then you get the mattock. And then I can go get the wings. I guess if I save my gold, I could buy the spring boots for Lil and just do hers in one pass. Maybe I'll do that. Otherwise, then I would next do Maina. But if I don't have to do Maina to get the spring boots, I could do Pochi third and then Maina versus Rock Gaia. Oh wait, I need 95 gold for the... shield. I always forget about the shield. I didn't even use it on my first playthrough. Okay, so the only thing I own is a glove here. And if I need to... yeah. Oh, I just wanted to see... yeah, the Z and Shift. That's the keyboard control. So you can play this with a keyboard if you like. I don't think I want to do that. Now... no. Wait, is this the best way? I'm trying to decide. Hang on, what does his screen say? So it's still... okay, still same stats as normal. I feel like enemies have different amounts of hit points that I'm used to, but I'm not sure. Well, that was a one-hit kill. I don't know. Oh, poison and bread. In not quite equal measure. So let's grab this crystal. I might want it later. So I should be getting a key chest, I think in Zayman's area anyway. Oh, the Mimic's not there, unlike the MSX2 version. Oh, that makes that... so that block just up here had a Mimic on it in the MSX2 version. It did not in the NES version, and it doesn't in this version, which I think is pretty much the same as that one. But it's just interesting how that area looks kind of empty as a result. Well, looks like they've got all the potion, or the poison waiting. Very authentic. Very authentic Dragon Slayer experience. Wow, the enemies are very hard to see. Oh, I like the look of this enemy. That's very clearly not a a block to move. That's funny. Okay, so I figure I should spend a little bit of time... wow. Did I really take that much damage from the dragons? Oh, no, they kept Pochi's music, so this is different than the NES version. I need to see if the Famicom version has this tune, or if it has the different Pochi music. Oh wait, there's a free elixir here. I think this is an elixir. That looks like an elixir. Yep, okay. So, I came here to buy an elixir and a magic potion. I'm just gonna buy a magic potion. Oh, they're only 30. I thought they were 35, but that's cool too. It looked like a scroll for a second when I bought it. Or maybe it was a puff of smoke, I don't know. So we still have the hold up to walk on spike trick in in this one. Now there should be an inn. Okay, the blue room is now red. So if I don't make it to the inn over here, this might be all for naught. Maybe a little snack to get me there. Give me some bread, just in case. There we go. I made it. So, I don't know, maybe I want to equip that. That, just in case I need them. Otherwise, I think we're ready to head out. That was a bad start. So, I want to end my Zaman run with yeah, I can't avoid that poison by jumping over it, not with Zaman. I want to end it with the mattock. I think that's the only important item in his dungeon in this version, if I recall. Okay, there should be magic in this chest, so I don't need to pay attention to it. I'm not seeing enemies... Oh, wait. No. So... Oh, I didn't get a chance to test, but I don't think this will have background enemies like the NES version, where there will be an enemy you have to touch to get past. It's the first cross I've seen. Cross begets a cross. Okay, down we go. Ooh, let's grab that bread. Wait, where am I going? Why am I in Pushy's dungeon? What am I thinking? I'm going the wrong way. I gotta get out of here. Gotta ruin my nice life there. Keep what I had. Whoa, hey! Is this Maina's theme? Okay, so this is the problem with this area. You got these winking butts that do damage to you when you touch them. But you can't kill them until you touch them. It's a problem. Then they go to sleep and then you can't. And then there's these fish that just touch you very rudely. Next question, how do I get up here? Okay. Right. There's my knuckle. Very good weapon. And now we get out of Pochi's dungeon. Wait for some poison to pass. So the music question remaining. So they kept Pochi's original theme for this. unlike the NES version. Which makes me wonder if the Famicom version has Pochi's theme or not. So I'm gonna have to play it to find out. But there's also the 4 boss themes, which could be in play. Okay, so that definitively answers my question. That was an enemy you had to touch because it was hiding behind the background in the NES version. I think MSX does not have that graphical capability, and they must have decided to cut that enemy feature. Which makes this room a little less daunting. Alright. Oh. Let's forced Pochi's music back on. So there are a couple of rooms in Pochi's dungeon which sometimes have the wrong music because they're shared rooms. Sometimes they're Pochi's rooms, sometimes they're Maina's room. Oh, I didn't get any of them. Give me some bread. I'll get the spike shoes pretty soon. This block is out in the MSX version. Okay, that is different. Now, this item should be a scroll. Yep. So what do we get here? This, I think, is... yeah, it's magic. That's fine. I'd rather like some bread, but that's okay. Might be bread in the room to the left. I don't think there's anything I want in this shop, but I just want to take a peek anyway. Oh, I see. So you can buy the spike shoes here, but we can just grab them in like 2 rooms from here. So first, get this nice rod for the wife. Ugh. Stupid poison. So that might be bread if I'm lucky. I don't remember if it is. Okay, let's so block pushing should be the same in this version. Don't have far to go until I hit an end, so I'm relatively safe right now. Ooh, it's keys. Okay, I'll take that. That's totally acceptable. I don't want to push that again, because that's my path up to the inn. Just kind of important right now. My life's a little low. Alright. So, because we've come from the upper path, this is a little bit easier. Do not select... Oh, I forgot about that. That's okay. Okay, so I should be able to move this block to the left. Yes. But, yeah, I don't know if I can do both of those in one step. See if I can jump up here. Oh, I was hoping I could switch items in the air and... catch it on the way down. I think that's a little too tricky. So let's do this another way. Let's put this back, but push it up instead. Ooh. Oh no, that's not the way I wanted. Oh, and I don't have... Is that my nearest reset? Oh, it's all the way down there. That's fine. Okay, I'll just do it this way then. Okay, that's what I wanted. Hi there, F.A. Hickman, how's it going? I've been bit by the Dragon Slayer fever, as you can see here. So let's go up here. Here? What? Is it not up here? Did this move? I'm a little confused now, because that's... Oh, it's here. Okay, so that should be... Okay. It is the shoes. Ugh, poison. How rude. But soon I will be able to wear the shoes. Which will be nice. There we go. Nothing important in this shop, as I recall. No. Actually, surprisingly not. It is not the first version of this game. The MSX2 version was the first version of the game. That was the last one I played, which I always assumed was the last version of the game, but it wasn't. So it's the one with the most differences. So the MSX2 version came first, then the Famicom version, and then this MSX1 port was based on the Famicom version. That chest. What's in this chest? I don't think this was here before. I think the chest was in the top right corner before, but I've done all the work to get down here. Oh well. It's probably just bread. So yeah, I think the NES version is basically like their second crack at it. It only came out like 2 months later, but I think it was developed in tandem. Or rather, I should say Famicom version. The NES version came out like 2 years later or something when Broderbund picked it up, but the Famicom version, I think, is their kind of like intended version of this game, or I don't know. I don't know if you can really say that. I'm sure probably even different people that worked on it thought different versions of the game were the best, so... but I like the NES version. I think it is a good version. The changes in the MSX one, for the most part, I could take or leave. I think some of them were more cruel, and they kind of toned it down a little bit. Maybe, but not by much. It was still essentially the same game. And then, so that version came out, and then, yeah, like, they decided, I guess it was popular, or getting popular, so they decided, let's downport it to the MSX1 for people who have older computers. So we have this version, which is essentially based on the Famicom version. Okay, that's the block to jump over. You can see it because they don't walk over it, or they fall down it if they jump onto it. They have not toned down the poison at all in this version. Still everywhere. Okay. This should be... It's a magic potion, like an actual bottle. Okay, that should be bread down there. I don't need that because there's an inn right here. Oh, they left this wall. Okay, so there's some really minor versions, or really minor differences between this and the NES version. I don't think that little wall was there before. But there was a taller wall, I think, in the MSX2 version. The shopkeeper's a panda. Yeah, I think sprites on the MSX were, well, they were one color. So the characters are actually done with two layers. So they have a white layer for all their details and a black layer for their outline, which you can't really see on this screen, but I think it's there. There, I think I'll take this set of things. So the players have a black outline because they're made in two layers of sprites, I think, but all the enemies are single layer, just to be less expensive on the hardware or whatever. Oh no. Should I wait for one of these enemies to kind of come up here for me? They don't seem that keen on helping me out here. Oh. Purple one's coming to my aid. There we go. Oof. Yeah, the vertical scene transitions are really rough in the MSX versions. That's the main thing that I really like about the NES version instead. Like, the rooms are always 4 screens wide, but on the NES those scroll smoothly. In this, they do not. And vertical transitions are much faster on the NES. So that like blank of black really kind of messes me up. I don't know. I don't like seeing black like that. I feel the same way about like movie trailers. Okay, better back out of this before I lock myself in. Hi there, Toxic. Sorry I didn't say hi when you came in. I was talking about something. Pushing blocks? No, I don't think I was doing this yet. But it was something. I know the rules, but it's really hard to get the push to the right on that one. There we go. You just have to be very deliberate about the order in which you push your buttons to get the right output from the block. Like, you have to know the rule is exactly when you press jump, it will remember the last direction you pressed. So when you collide with the block, whatever the last direction you pressed is the one that matters. So it's not like... And then there's sort of an extra rule about, like, you can't push left if you're too far to the right, and you can't push right if you're too far to the left, and so on. But the main rule is just what was the last direction you pushed while holding the jump button. And that's part of what makes it so confusing, because it's hard to remember, like, the last instant. Did you press the direction before you jumped, or after, or did you release jump? Like, there's all sorts of things that go wrong. And at first it feels like it has to do with like what side you're on and stuff like that until you realize the second layer of that. I don't know, it takes a while to figure out. And even by the end of my first playthrough, I did not really fully understand it. And now that I fully understand it, I still can't control it 100%. Like, that is not where I wanted that to go. I think I can still salvage it, though. Actually, we want to just... I don't even need to mess with that. Just push this over here. I do that. A nice opportunity to just push it down. There we go. Wasn't exactly where I was aiming, but good enough. So, in my previous runs, I would push a second block down, but I was watching Hungry Gorilla play, and she realized you could just drop down on this one. Which seems faster. Maybe. Alright. And then... the last time I played, I realized... so I always worked hard to push this. This block is really hard to push up because you have to jump over to the side, and then up has to be the last direction you pushed, like pure up instead of diagonal. The time you get here, otherwise it'll move. But I later discovered you can just kind of go through here, and there's another path. Ah, stupid poison. So you might as well just do this instead. Well, you might as well do that instead if you don't mess it up like I just did. But it's fine. I can just reset it by walking into the next room. I pressed the direction before pressing A, and I had or pressing jump, and then I had released it. So it never counted. There we go. Wait, how did I get through here before? Oh no, I just went through the bottom. I'm not even doing the correct thing here. You just go at the bottom. That's all. Very, very simple. Okay. And then you can just jump up onto it, and there. That's all you need to do. I don't know what I was doing there. Not tempted by that money. Well, to be honest, I'm a little tempted by it, but... okay, so before we can cross there, we need a block underneath. Away from me, slime. Okay. Not quite where I want that, but it's easy to put back. Okay. Actually, I'll just climb on that. That's fine. So you'll see those all disappear. That's fine. Just jump back up here. And now, let's take the poison. I don't care. Oh no, that's not the way. I wanted to get in the middle there. but I can ride this block over there. Just gotta be careful when you're jumping around with the block equipped, or the glove equipped. Because it's easy to... Actually, let's bring this down one more. Do I want to stay at that end? I don't think I need to. Okay. Down into the next room. Is it tedious? It's more tedious when you haven't quite learned it. For me, like I've already solved all the puzzles a couple times, so... Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so this is a checkerboard, and like the block right above my head right now is immovable. You can't see the difference on the MSX one. On the Famicom, these would be different colors. It'd be super clear. So that's a little more cruel. That seems like an oversight. So yeah, these block puzzles are especially a little more tedious if you are on your first playthrough. And this character's dungeon is super long. So if you're still working out how to move the blocks, like it takes a while. Like it's gonna take me, it usually takes me 30 minutes to an hour to get through his dungeon, it seems. Is that high enough to reach? I don't know, I think I need to... bring back... Oh no. You can still get it. So I just need one more block. What I can do is push that to the right, push that to the left. There we go. So the other thing you can do is knock these blocks down. There's sort of, there we go. And then you can kind of jump on top of them, and you can like ride on top of a block. Like you can do this, or this is hard to see. There we go. So you can do this with a block, which isn't too difficult once you're experienced, but this is easier. I think I want that one block higher. Oops. So a lot of people really hate the glove moving. I don't mind it. Realizing, because I move that up, I have to move them all up. There we go. There we go. Oh, I didn't need to... Didn't need to do that. Oh no. Oh, I can still move it down. Okay, I was so worried that I'd screwed it up. Let's crush this knight here, just for spite. This is funny how you can see immediately that this is a fake block enemy. So on the Famicom version, that enemy looked like a different colored block, but it looked like the same tile as the block. But in this case, the blocks have two colors, and the sprites only have one, so it's obvious. Why can't I move this one? There we go. So I think that one's a case of if you're too far over, you can't push it. So this is an enemy I can't touch until, or I can't kill until I touch. Here's the mattock. Very important. Oh, the key rod. I will need to buy that at some point. I've got the other rod. But I can get a better price elsewhere. However, I'm going to stay at this inn because my life's down to half. Might as well fill up. And be on my way. Oh, that's not the way. So enemies that aren't moving, usually you can't hurt. Grab that key. Keys are useful. Anyhow, oh, how much more block stuff is in this? Oh yeah. Okay, so there is a room which is quite tedious coming up. But oh, I could have just gotten that. Still refilled my magic though. You might be able to see why. So, it's a room full of this act. I think there's like 12 of these or so. We can count. Here's number 2. Number 3. But this room is not error prone at all. Like, it's... You can mess it up, but it's basically really easy. Like at the bottom of each of these ladders, you can go down into the room below and reset. So it's no problem at all. So almost all the block pushing stuff is done. There's a few more rooms in his dungeon here, but I don't know why I had so much trouble get that working. See, there I messed it up, but no problem. Each of them has a reset. Like, it's surprisingly mundane after the prior puzzles. So I don't think it really goes too far or too deep with Seaman, but I think for some people this is like way too far and way too deep. It just depends on your level of tolerance for it. Tolerance or enjoyment. Like, to be truthful, I like Seaman's dungeon. It was more than I expected. But I'm up for some block pushing. I frequently play Sokoban type games. So this is kind of up my alley, I guess. So I don't think I need anything in the shop. Might as well stay in the inn just for safety. But the really cool thing about this game is just the sheer length of all the dungeons, or mainly just Seaman's dungeon and Maina's dungeon. Like, it just... If it takes you an hour to get through, and you don't know how to beat the boss, which you won't the first time you get to it, you'll die to it very quick, and have to trek all the way back to try again. It's very cruel. Drinking a lot of poison here that I should not be. Okay. So, here we have a room full of pushy blocks. Actually, ooh, I should grab that. I can just run. But you don't even need to deal with him unless you want to get into that inn, which isn't too important, really. Was that drop bread? I'll take it. Ah! I had already decided to grab the poison before I could see what it was for some reason. Alright. So, not too many rooms left in his dungeon. Normally you can ride across that enemy to get across the spikes, but there's an Easter egg. You can just walk on spikes if you hold up. Which I think the game was designed so that you wouldn't know this, because there's a lot of what I think are interesting puzzles to get around the spikes, but it's also kind of, I think of it as like the wall jump in Super Metroid. It's like if you know it, it can get you out of a bunch of jams, and get you to some new places, but you don't need it. You can get through the game fine without it. Also, you can jump on enemies. You only need to do that in one place in the entire game, but you can do it everywhere. That they tell you about in the manual, though. So I like that kind of Easter egg / cheat is there. When you're in the know, it makes your play of the game faster. When you're not in the know, it gives you some extra puzzles to solve. Oh no. Okay, on the Famicom NES versions, you can see which blocks of these you can touch, like walk through, and which you can't. In this version, I don't see a difference. Do you see a difference? I'm not seeing one, which makes this a bit more annoying. This was a really interesting puzzle to me. So this jump is really hard to make, but you can make it. But if you fall onto those spikes and you don't know about the holding up trick, you might not be able to get off those spikes. I actually took a death there the first time I got here. If you fall on those... Oh, no. I gotta go back around. It's not far, though. Okay, it's a little farther, but it's still not that far. If I can get the skeleton to jump, then... There we go. That's the quickest way. So, like, this pit here, that's basically a death trap, but this enemy will come and jump down, and then you can climb out of it. You can use the enemy to climb out of the pit, which is really wild, I think. So I had some very tense moments where I fell onto some spikes, and then, you know, I waited and waited, and my health was whittling down, and finally, like, a monster let me out, and I loved those moments. You don't get those moments if you know the Easter egg. And this one, I'll show you the... So the hard way is just jumping across, and then the backup is climbing a monster if you do fall in there. And then there's the strategic way, where if you know you're block pushing really well, you can do this. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Oh no. Well, I just messed it up. But you can push it right here. I'm not gonna bother to redo it, but... Anyhow, that was how I got over there in my playthrough, my first playthrough. But now I wouldn't know about the Easter egg, and I don't need to solve that puzzle again. But I enjoyed figuring out that solution, and I enjoyed, like, almost surviving it the first time. Like, I fell into the pit, and then a monster came, but I was still wearing my spike shoes, so I killed the monster instead of climbing on it. So it was entirely my fault, and I loved that. I loved that it gave me an out, and I threw it away. I don't know. But if you're not having a good time in Zayman's dungeon, it's good to know about that Easter egg. It's good that you could, I don't know, potentially call... Oh, gotta do that again. You could call, like, the Nintendo hit line, I guess, and then someone could tell you a bunch of ways to make this easier on yourself. Since I'm doing this yet another time, let's show you what I think is the interesting way to do this. So this block, so notice your jump almost touches the top of the screen. So if you get on top of this block and you jump, you will not be able to keep going to the left. So you can't do that. But what you can do is you can ride this block here across. You don't actually need to do that. However, if you bring 2 blocks here, you can push a block through the lower area, and then you have a thing that guards the lower spikes for you, so you can just kind of step across. I don't need to because I know I can walk on spikes, but it's a complicated solution, which isn't obvious, and I like that. I had fun solving that puzzle, not knowing the spike thing. But once again, it's at the end of like an hour long, or maybe like 2 hours your first time getting to this end of this dungeon, and it all just depends on when you've had enough of it. I was still okay. Okay, so you can just make that jump if you're good at these jumps, which at this point I can make them pretty well. Not much of a problem, but... Okay, so let's try not to mess this up this time. Alright, so this is the passageway to the first boss. Well, to a boss. The bosses come in the order that you collect the crowns. But this is the first crown that I've collected. So it throws all these fireballs at me, which are... Actually, I'm not doing well here. Oh! I really didn't. I had a chance to equip myself with like a life refill or a knuckle, which would have done like triple damage. Actually, it might be quadruple damage, but I totally forgot. So I was under-equipped. But it's the first boss. The first boss is actually kind of reasonable. Subsequent bosses are not. So we made it home. We'll just grab a password from Grandma there. And we have the mattock for Lil here. So she'll be our second adventurer. I guess so. Well, there was Grandma and Grandpa, and then there was a painting on the wall of like great-grandpa, or maybe it's like great-great-grandpa, Grandpa Lark. But in this one, there's just 2 paintings on the wall of Grandpa and Grandma, and there's no Lark. So I don't know why they did that, but that's what they did. Okay. Hang on. I want to get 95 gold. I'm going to go back into Pochi's dungeon and grab... I'm just going to do Pochi as the second boss. This is going to be risky, because I'm going to do Maina 4th, I think. No, I have to do Lilforth. Is that a good idea? I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Sorry, I'm like planning my route now, and it's gonna be different than what I did last time. So Pochi can't use any of the items, like the special items, but there's all these mundane items. The elixir, the potion. Don't really... Probably won't use any of them, but I'll just take them. So yeah, so Great Grandpa's painting, I guess, was replaced by regular Grandpa, and then Grandma is now a painting as well. I guess I don't really need to fight any of these enemies as Pochi. Yeah, he is quite ghostly, but all of the players are white in this one. Oh! I need to get over here and grab the key rod for Maina. Okay, so I've got 10 more gold than... Actually, I think it'll put me up to 109 when I grab the thing, so maybe that's not bad. If this goes up to 109, actually, well, the NES version went up to 109 because it had like 10 bars at the top and then 10 bars at the bottom. So they wanted you to have 100, which meant they needed to let you fill up the bars in the bottom as well. So it went 100 plus 9. They didn't ever let you fill up the 10th one, so it only went to 109. Which was weird, but I guess they felt they should stop somewhere, but they could have stopped at 100. It just feels like extra arbitrary because it stops at 109, but okay, so we'll just do Poshi's dungeon this time. Frog's trying to help us out here. He's a cool dude. We should listen to our friend Frog. Okay. So this room would be green in the NES version. Here it's kind of red and green. Now, I think there's some bread over here. Hardly worth picking up, but I'll do it anyway. So I'm really only doing Pochi now because I want the gold that I know is in his dungeon. So I like that they kept Pochi's original music in this, because I think it's more fun than what they had. What they had was more mysterious and more in tone with everything else in the game, so I don't know. I could see justification for either way. Okay, so the gold is up here. Oops. A little bit of a tricky jump, but shouldn't be that tricky. Oh, there's an enemy helping me out there. But, oop. All these stupid ladders. Oh, I have to go around this way anyway. Pochi flaps his arm when he jumps. Can't see because I'm on ladders now. I'll check it out next time there's a vertical space above me. Is there a hole here? Or no, it's a little further over. Scrolling throws me off. Is it not there? Is it down here? Get the way through. sure... Oh, there it is. Oh. I guess I needed to press down on it. So what's in this shop here? Yeah, I don't need those. The winged rod would actually be a good weapon for Pochi, because his range is so limited. Doesn't really matter though. Okay. So, my loadout with him... Okay, so the winged rod would actually be my best bet, but... Wait, did it max me? It maxed me at 100 gold. So it does that differently in this version, because it doesn't have the weird life bar with 109 points in it. So my calculations were off. Wait, how do I get... Ah, there it is. A bit of a maze here. Wait, I can't go... Or no, it's up here. There we go. So, let's equip that. That's our refill, in case we need it. Oh! They fixed the boss meters. I can actually see how much health they have. I made it without using the elixir. Okay, cool. So the bosses have health above 100, which doesn't show up properly on the Famicom or MSX2 version of the game because of the segmented life bars. Alright. So now, let's do a quick look at Grandma's painting. We glance at it and remember where we are, I guess. Now, we'll take the mattock. I need to farm 5 gold, but that should not take long at all. Spike shoes are good default. So off we go to buy the shield. But that makes me realize, oh, I also need the key rod, which is sort of on the way, except I don't have enough keys to get there. If I had like 3 more keys... I think I can just grind for him, but... Guess I can go for it. Probably get the keys I need on the way. Okay, so my gold is maxed at 100. That is interesting that they changed that. It's funny how a number of the actual like gameplay design decisions seem to have been altered because of how they visually presented things differently. So, I guess I'm kind of... It's sad to say that this is kind of the black sheep of the family of ports of this game, but if all you had was an MSX, you know, it would be great that this exists. But in my view, like, the Famicom NES version is the best, and I think I'm not saying that just because it was the first one that I played. Okay, so I kind of need to go up there to get the key rod, but I need 50 more gold for that. Or wait, no. I'm gonna get the free key rod, except it's gonna cost me like 10 keys. I should try and smite these enemies here on the way back. Bread? Oh, come on. I need keys, not bread. So, all the way down here, there's a secret block that we can break. And it's also secretly not an inn, it's a shop. And here's our shield. So now we own a shield, which is the perfect weapon for fighting the bosses. First, we're gonna go... So I think I only need 50 gold to get the key rod. But I also think I only need 10 keys or so. So I'm not sure which of those conditions I will meet first. Actually, I want to see if this is... Okay, this is like the NES version. The MSX2 version makes a... Okay, so instead of this pillar here, it has a wall that becomes solid when you... So it looks like it's open, so you like jump for the chest, and then it blocks you out. But it's also not a solid wall until you touch it, which means the enemies attack you through it until you make it solid. It's kind of... I really like how treacherous it is, but they made it less intimidating in this one, I think. Okay, so... I do want this bread. It's gonna take all my remaining keys to get through here, and I still need a couple more. So hopefully all these enemies down here will drop some keys for me quickly enough. That might be enough keys. I want to get like 2 more. Just in case. Stupid poison. Oh, I thought that would have... As long as you're... It's sort of like Mario Bros, I think. As long as you're on the down with the spike shoes, you'll hit. So because that one is at like the apex of my jump, I can't hit it from below. 1 more key. Gold, gold. Come on, give me a key. Stop running away. What are you afraid of? Gold. Gold. I think I'll have enough gold before I get the key I need. Well, at least that'll make it faster. Maybe. If I get another key. Maybe I should just go with 4 keys. Oh, there we go. 1 more key. Give it to me. Okay, so you take the upper path. And... if you pay enough attention in Zayman's dungeon... Oh no, I need 1 more key. Key me, please. Thank you. Oh no, I didn't bring the crystal ball. Which means I need more keys to get to the inn. Okay, here we are. This should be the key rod. There we are, or the key stick. So this is the room from Zayman's dungeon where you, if you do some block riding, you can get to that shop at the inn. That shop, I think, I forget what it sells, but it's a good shop, I think. Maybe not. The inn's useful. But the inn you can just get off a monster. And in truth, the shop you could as well, if you're really careful. Okay, so I would need 5 keys to get out of there. Can I get to an inn down here? No. This is blocked off. So I forgot to take the crystal ball, which actually puts me in dire straits here, because I can't kill that enemy unless I touch it first. Hi there, that's Amore. Yes, I do work on NSF Play sometimes. How's it going? I'm trying to get about 5 keys so I can get out of this dungeon, but I don't know if I can do it. So I might have to do this whole process again, getting the shield. Like that enemy I can't afford to touch a bunch of times. So I think I need 3 more keys. There's 2 more here. If I can just get to that room with the castle in it. Yeah, I will work on NSF Play more eventually. It's not a priority project for me, but I do plan to return to it. I have a lot of projects that are on the go. So I need keys, it's giving me magic. If I run out of magic... Actually, I'd be fine if I run out of magic because I've got a potion. Which I need to use right now. But they're gonna give me bread instead of the keys I need because my life is low. Thank you, keys. Okay. 1 more screen. Okay, 2 more keys needed. Oh, this room sucks. I knew what I needed to do and I forgot to do it. I needed to bring a crystal ball. It would have been easier to just farm for the gold for the key stick, I think. One more key. Once I get to that room in the middle, I'm scot-free, because I can just use my stompy boots to farm those enemies quickly. Thank you. Oh, there's probably one more door here, too. Oh, maybe not. Okay. So, like I said, stompy boots. And we'll go stompy stompy on these. Till I get some keys. I don't know how many keys I need, probably about 6 to get to the inn. Actually, it might be less than that because it's the bottom path. I might have enough keys right now. Four keys. Let's go 5 keys. I'll go for it. There's a ring that protects me from all enemies for a little while. I'd rather have a key. I think I'm one more gold and I'll have, yeah, so now I have money to buy the key rod that I'm working hard to bring back home for Mother. Let's just go for it. So the bottom path should lead me to an inn. Let's see how many keys I needed. There's one key. Oh, I didn't check out Pochi's flapping arms when he jumped. When I get home, I should check that out. Okay, so I only needed 3 keys to get over there. And yeah, the inn, just have to go around this corner here. Don't need that bread. So here's the alternate place where you can buy the mattock. You can get the armor in a couple places, but it's also less useful than it seems. It's probably good against bosses, actually. Okay, this is bread, but there's an inn right here, so I need to use the inn to switch my items. Doesn't matter, I shouldn't even... All I need is this one. Okay, so I'm home. I've got a shield and a key stick. So now we'll do Lil's dungeon and end at the 3rd boss. Or let's just take a little look at Pochi first. Just want to see how he jumps. Oh, that's neat. It's like a little flutter at the top of his jump. That is cute. Hadn't really clued into that. I like it. Do they all do that? Wait, did I talk to Grandma? I think I did, but I don't think I have to. I think all you have to do is come back to the house. Ooh. But I just wanted to do that in case I get, like, in, you know, like a soft lock situation or something. Yeah, that's some more, like, I really want to do a total rewrite of NSF Play, because it's an old program now, like, very old. And there's a lot of ways that it could be improved. That you can't really do incrementally. You know, we have 20 years of hindsight on it, or... Well, okay, I think the program started in the early 2000s. So not quite 20 years yet, but it's 15 years old for sure. So there's a lot that should be done. It's just... Before I do that, I want to do some research work and incorporate that into the existing version and do kind of like one final version. And then I'll start work on the total remake. Okay, so just to show what I could have done instead, you can... How are we meant to get over here? Do we have to ride these? Will I make it? Made it. Okay. So there's a shop here. You need the mattock to break the door open. And you can buy the mattock? Oh! Why is it the mattock and not the key rod? Now, okay, this one actually makes no sense to me unless... Oh, okay, you could use the rod to get in here. So that'd be an alternate way to buy the mattock. That's curious. Does that mean there's only one way to get the key, or two ways to get the key rod? There should be a way to buy the key rod from within Maina's dungeon, but you have to spend a lot of keys to get it. Which is also seems weird and maybe a little ironic. Let's get back on the boots. So her dungeon, because she jumps high, they put a ladder that's kind of out of reach, but any of the characters can actually jump up there. She's just better at it. So they made it so like you probably wouldn't discover right away that you can jump up there. I forget what this shop has. Probably... Oh, it's got the knuckle and the winged rod. I'm about to get a free winged rod. So... won't be going there, but... First thing, I want to go down here. And just up and over, because there is a free crystal ball, and those are good. There are some inexpensive places to buy them, but easiest one to get at is cost 95. And I don't want to spend that. Especially when it's... well, free for spending a moment or two of my time here. I gotta wait for this snake. I need help from this snake. You could also get some boots that help you jump higher, but the snake friend is the kind of cheap version. Oh, come on. Thank you. Thank you, snake. Snake. Alright. So, now as a reward for your help, I will stomp on you. Actually, I'll leave it alive. How about that? How about that? So, down here... Oh, not down here. One more room over. In this room, there's a tunnel down the side, which you can't see, but if you're in a hurry, you can... Oh. I actually didn't want to, because I wanted to grab that item there. I guess that's fine. So here's another place you can get the mattock and the key rod, or the key stick. So I could have bought it here. 70's a high price, but you know, like, the amount of time I spent messing around down there, I probably could have just grinded for that money. I don't think I need that in. Oh, okay, here's the keys. I wanted those keys, but I thought they were in the room above. So the room above probably doesn't have anything terribly useful. So that's fine. That's good that I skipped them then. This I want because it's the free winged rod. I don't think I'll use it, but It's nice to have in case you need it. Now, if I don't get this boss on the first try, I will... Well, I don't know. I'm not sure what the best order is to do these things, because... So you kind of need the mattock to get down here, where the wings happen to be. So those allow Mother Maina to fly. Or actually, she's just named Maya in this version. I should say Maina is the NES version name of the mother. They changed a few of the names very slightly. I don't think that shop has anything interesting. Actually, I probably want... So I'm realizing the jump boots are actually in Maina's dungeon, which means I'd have to buy them here for 95. That's okay, there's a really good grind spot just up here. So I can just do that. But I'm gonna need 95 gold, I think. So these are all mimics. Oh, that's nice to get. Just bop enemies with impunity for a moment. And it's worn off. Doesn't last long. But I've got spike shoes, which are pretty good against mimics. Ah, stupid poison. Okay, this is a... Alright, so there's a scroll here. Don't really need it, because what I'm going to do is climb up here. How am I going to... Oh, it's a long way down. So what's the way up here? It's a little bit hard to aim when you've got screen transition plus the speed change from the scroll. Cannot judge where I'm going. Okay, there we go. I need to get over here. I wish this scroll would wear off. Okay, so I can't jump up to there. So here's the good grind spot. So we'll just... land on this enemy and hope it doesn't give me poison over and over again. What's the best enemy to land on? I think right here? Why didn't it show up? Maybe this is not a good grind spot. Bread. So we need gold. Let's give me bread. 3 breads in a row. Scroll. Might make this a little faster. Poison. Should have jumped. Bread. Key. Now I have a key. Bread. I'm at 59 life and it's giving me bread. Why so much bread? Poison I expect. Thank you. Gold finally. That's what I need. So this won't take too long, but just need a minute or two to work up to 95 here. 2 at a time. Stupid poison. But the spike shoes make grinding relatively relatively painless. Grinding for gold. Gold is the only thing you really need to... You don't actually need to grind for it if you... Well, I don't know, you can go exploring more, or you can just buy the thing. Like, sometimes you find a thing in a shop, you can get all the items for free in the dungeon, but... sometimes I think this will save time, because otherwise I would have to go home with the wings and do Maina's dungeon next, and then she would get the boots for Lil, which Lil needs to reach her boss, so I don't know. But this way I can buy the boots for her. And it really only takes a couple minutes to gain a bunch of gold, so might as well. Ah, didn't grab the gold. 85. So 5 more gold pickups to go. Keys are actually the hardest thing to get, because you can't buy them. You only get them one at a time from a drop, and they don't drop hardly ever when you have low health or low magic. So when you've got okay health and okay magic, it's sometimes... Okay, just one more gold and I can move on. Alright, we're ready to go. So, I want to jump up there. Oh. Felt like I should really hit that dragon on the way down, but I guess you come through too fast to hit it. Not wearing my spiky shoes. Feel out of place here. Alright. So there's a shop in here. I don't think there's anything good in it. Yeah, I don't need those. Actually, how many do I have of each? I've got 1 magic potion, 2 elixirs, doing pretty good. Here's the room of the cat girls. Can't have a game without a few cat girls, can you? All right. So, some hidden blocks here that... Oh, there's some free bread. That is hard to see in the corner there. I actually didn't see it my first time there on the NES one, and it was like an orange color, and it stood out. This time, I had an excuse. Okay. Oh. I can't get up here yet, because I don't have the requisite boots. And this ladder goes nowhere. I forget how to get to the boots. Oh, right, I have to climb... I went the wrong way. Actually, well, I didn't really go the wrong way. I had to get out of there. I just went one screen too high on the way out. So this... Yeah, this is the correct path. Good poison. There's a fast cat girl. Each has a different athletic ability. There's a block I can destroy for no reason. I don't need this in. Okay. So, there's the really hard way to cross this room by breaking those blocks with the mattock. And then there's the easier way to do it by waiting for this frog. Oh, and jumping on the frog. Let's respawn the frog. Let's respawn the frog. Come on, come over here. Frog's chosen direction, I think, is random. Oh. Come on, I need you to jump. Have some enthusiasm. Yes. Oh, I don't need it to jump, I just need it to come on this way. Some bread I don't need, but I'm not coming back this way, so it doesn't matter. I need to get up there. So once again, if you don't know that you can walk on spikes, this is a little bit more onerous, but there's ways around it. So that shop has a weird sign. Oh, it was only 80. I kind of want that extra one. It's a good price for a magic potion. See if I can't get some gold quickly. Nice. Okay. So that was worth sneaking in there for a little extra magic. Might need one more. Might not. We'll see. It's handy to have against the boss, though. So, okay, so this is the way out of there. I'm trying to think if there's a fast way to get back, but... So if I recall, going down here just leads me to an inn. I don't really need right now, yeah. I think that shop is an alternate place to get the wings. So I don't know the trick of getting the mattock to hit a block in midair from the side. There seems to be a trick to it, but I haven't... It seems like if you're holding A and then you press sideways on it... I don't know what's in that chest. It's probably magic. I don't think I need it. Should really put these boots back on and just beat up a few enemies here. So I don't think going up there is... Oh, free elixir. I forgot about this one. Okay, so... Oh, I forgot to equip the jump boots. Well, you can technically jump over there by jumping off an enemy, but it's probably easier for me to go back to the inn. And I'll actually need 7 more gold before I can stay in the inn. That shouldn't be too hard. Because almost everything drops gold when you're at no gold. Almost everything. I guess I'm at low magic now. They're giving me magic. I use my stomp, I don't have to waste magic, but... Okay, 1 more gold. There we go. So... have a night at the inn. I need a short break, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Alright. Got a little water and some bread and butter. I forgot to re-equip the boots. You know what? At this point, I'm so close to the exit to the dungeon, I think I should go back and take a safety save. I'm pretty sure I can one-shot this boss, but I just collected the boots, and the shield. No, not the shield. The boots and the wings. So since I'm so close to home, I might as well just dash through here. Grab a little gold on the way. That'll help too, because I imagine I would have to grind for a little gold to stay at the inn anyway. Alright. So I'll get a nice save there. Now, at this point, we could do Maina's or Lil's dungeon. Might as well finish Lil. This time I remember those. Okay, so I got 3 of those, 2 of those. Got that. Probably won't use it till Royas escaping the dungeon. I don't know why they thought white backgrounds were a good idea. Oh, I didn't check to see if everybody flaps their arms at the height of their jump. I think everybody does that, not just Pochi. Because I think they have all the same animation, they just kind of like replace the sprites. Okay, so I have enough gold to stay at the inn twice, and I don't think I need to buy anything else in this game. I do have a full complement of items. Oh, I don't have the armor, but you don't need the armor. It's not that useful. Might be useful against a boss. If you want to dash into it. I haven't tried that. That might be a working strategy. But not everybody can use the armor, so... And you can't use it while using other items, which is like the main disadvantage of the armor. So... what could I do? Is there a quick climb? So... in the NES version, I think there's a... I think you can kind of jump coming out of a... pause? I don't know how to do it, though. I don't really care. I'll just do it the regular way. I'm going the wrong way here. I guess that bread's worth it. Well, it was a little low. No, don't want to go up there. Okay, that's a good drop. Save me some time. Alright, so... I think technically I can jump off of one of these skeletons if I wait for it to jump. But the thing is, I can just do this with the... I just use the high jump boots, you see? So normally it makes you go kind of a long way around to get down and around the ship. And then up here. So I got a little butter on my hands. Nice magic going on. And then we'll do the Room of the Cat Girls, and then we'll be back to where I was when I realized I needed the boots. So I'm actually fairly confident we can get this boss in one shot. Because I've beat it, I think 3 times now. But I just thought it'd be worth taking the safety save. just in case. Oh, no. There we go. So if you have a scroll, you can actually just do a running jump from the lower platform, which is funny. No, I don't need that in because there's an inn right next to the boss. This is bread over here, I think. So, might as well take it, just because we're not coming back here. There's a crab. Kind of wanted to look at that snail enemy that's over here, but hard to see. Oh, it doesn't look like it has 4 eyes in this version. Which makes it less... It's called a flail snail. And on the MSX2 version and on the Famicom version, they have 4 eyes, so their head looks kind of like a flail, which I thought was really cool. Oh, that's okay. I needed to be here anyway. Okay, so there's the boss. Now, to get to the boss, I need the mattock. But that's it. So I want mattock, shield, extra magic. It's a little tricky to get to the boss. Wait. Can I jump it from here? So I had a whole technique of getting to this boss without the high jump shoes. Which involved waking this lion and jumping off of it to get onto this platform here. Jumping up here. What is that? Oh, that's a good price for a crystal ball, but don't need one. I don't think I can jump high enough to hit that, and so I need to get over here. So the second part of my strategy, actually I think I need to do this again. There, let's reset that. I need to jump off that knight. I have to wait for it to respawn, and then jump off of it to get up here. I have to hope it doesn't do that. Or maybe I should expect it to go left. I think it's random the direction it goes, but I need it to jump. Thankfully it looks like it only did 2 damage there, maybe 3. Just gotta wait for it to run. Oh, that's what I needed. Oh! If I could just make that jump. Oh, I can just do that. Okay. Better strategy. Just jump up here. That's all I needed, just get up to that block. I didn't realize I could make the short jump. So, a walk here. Pretty sure I need to jump right here. Oh, I did it. First try. Okay. Shield on to protect me from the bullets of the boss. And in we go. Okay, this room is a little bit different shaped. Only a little bit, though. So, just gotta plug at it from up here, but I'll probably run out of magic. Tends to happen with this boss. It's so nice having an actual health indicator for it that works. So normally you wouldn't see that you're doing damage yet, not until it gets below 109. So like just now I would start to see that I'm dealing damage to it. So I don't think I will take it out before my magic runs out, but that's why I brought a magic potion. Almost did it though. So I'll just back up a little bit. Put the shield back on so you don't have to fear the projectiles and get back to pelting Archwinger. And there we go. So I didn't need the safety save, but I'm glad I took it. So now it's time for Maina's dungeon. So we'll just talk to Grandma, or talk to Grandma's portrait, I guess. I like that Pochi waits by the door, though. So I think the boss music in this one is not the MSX2 boss music. So they cut the extra boss musics. The wing looks more symmetrical. That's interesting. She can use this, but I don't see the point. Because she can fly. So here's the rod. Some people call it the crossbow. Because it really whacks blocks. And this is the key stick. It unlocks everything at the cost of 1 magic. So, on to her dungeon. I guess we can grab armor with her, but it doesn't matter. Nobody will need armor in this playthrough. So with the wings... Oh, there, I accidentally used my wacky stick, my crossbow, my rod. It's just called the rod. So that thing that I had to ride the dragon to get up to, I think I could go up here, and I think there's actually space to whack it. There we are. So I could go in this shop and buy the key rod. But the key rod's not in here. I forgot that part. That's funny. And odd. The key rod's not in there. So things are a little bit different. They've moved things around a little bit, but not a huge amount. I wanna... get rid of these enemies, and then use the inn. Don't need too many more keys at this point, but they might make the very end of her dungeon a little bit faster. Kind of hoping for a scroll. She could do the Mega Man thing and just jump off the ladder, but you can't when it's only 1 square wide. So there we go. So, round's right in there, but we gotta go around. Dun, 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 dun. So here our key rod starts paying off. So for the middle path I could get a free, there's a shop, I forget what's in that shop. These wizards are a bit of a vexing enemy, but... yeah, there's a shop in there, and then there's a crystal ball, but I don't need any more crystal balls. I think I've got one... I have one spare, right? Yeah. So I'll use that at the end. There's an inn over there, I don't really need to use it. And I could also buy armor over there, or the mattock, and I don't need either of those things, so... Down we go, through this secret hole in the floor. So that's the same in all versions. You need to find this secret hole in the floor to proceed. That I think is bread. I'm on the lookout for enemies that are like... Oh, there it is. It's a little red line. You can't damage it before touching it. Okay, there's an inn that secretly turns into a shop. I'm gonna go experiment with that when we get to the next room. Into this man in the hat. So I think there's a magic refill here. So let's whack this block to get it. So you could fly up here, or you could use the high jump boots. I see, so that's how you could get here without the wings yet. Because I think you can buy the wings late in her dungeon, and so you can also buy the key stick somewhere in her dungeon, I believe. Hi Toxics, it's going pretty good. Having some ramen. Ramen can be good. I actually found some of the samyang spicy chicken, which I really love. But I haven't seen it in weeks, and finally I found some. So I stocked up on it a little bit. So I'm looking forward to eating it sometime soon. So this is a mimic, which will damage you. This turns into a shop. Okay, I think it's just cheap. Yeah, it's cheap magic, cheap elixir, and I don't need either of those. Maybe I'll buy an extra cheap magic just to have a spare, but I won't need it. Yeah, I've got 2, I've got 3. Did I even use it? Yeah, I did use it in the last battle. I don't think I even need that in at the moment. Oh! I wanted to check out this, Yep, so there's a secret hole for... What is this item? This is just a crystal ball. If it's the same, yeah. So I don't need that, but it's neat to know there's a secret hole in this version. There isn't in the original MSX2 version, right there. Much lower of sodium. That's interesting, making your own soup base. Well, that way you can make it the way you like. In general, I much prefer making food at home to going to a restaurant or something like that. Like, sometimes a restaurant will make food that... If I find a restaurant that makes food a way makes food that I really like, I don't mind going to it. But mostly, if I'm going to a restaurant, it's because, like, I'll a friend will want to go or something. And I don't mind going for the social aspect. And sometimes it's nice to try new foods, but I like cooking things at home, and I like getting to make things exactly the way I'll like them, instead of, you know, the recipe that this chef likes. Yeah. And I enjoy cooking, and I enjoy getting to cook new things, so if I find out about a new food, I like to try and make it for myself as well. So, in general, I'd rather eat at home than at a restaurant. So here's our second view of that chest. That's where the crown sits. So actually, somebody poached it. Oh, it wasn't you that pointed it out. Poachy flaps his arms at the top of his jump, but so does everyone in this game, it looks like. But for Maina the mom, it's more like a little head bob. Why is this lion coming after me? He usually doesn't chase that much. Also, restaurants are expensive. That's another... yet another problem there. Though I think my favorite restaurants tend to be ones that are fairly inexpensive. But oh, I think that's a chest full of magic. Okay, so here I could buy the wings or the key rod. It would have taken on a few keys to get here. But I guess if you really needed to, and you could have used the jump boots instead of the wings to get this far. I guess you don't actually need the wings, now that I think about it. You could do everything you need with the jump boots, I think, or jumping on monsters. Maybe. There might be one or two places where you actually need the wings. I'm thinking of like a low pit. Or a... Oh, I thought this was magic. Okay, well. There's a pit, or not a pit, but a low overhang with spikes next to it. So I found out about a shortcut up here in the MSX2 version. I don't think it exists in the NES version, but... I'm gonna check for it. No, I don't think it exists. So they took it out, but they left in this block here that kind of holds the secret from you. So it's kind of vestigial, I guess. Anyhow, we just fly up here. And then... I think this is where you kind of start to need the key rod for real. It's a little, like, rhino with a club or something. That's a shop. I thought this was an inn before. Maybe not. Another key rod, just in case you don't have it yet. At a better price, too. Bet that would feel pretty bad if you just bought it and then you found this shop a moment later. 30 gold cheaper. Ah yes, here's the inn. Here's the enemy guarding it. So just a little line in the floor, hard to see. So we'll keep our equipment and keep on trucking here. So this is the room where I think you finally need the wings to proceed. Maybe? Right here. You can't walk across these spikes. Because if there's no overhang, like you can't even use the walk on spike trick. It'll just kind of hold you back. So you need space above to be able to walk on spikes or jump across them. And you just can't there. So I think that is the one place you actually are required to have the wings. That just dropped poison. So inside that chest is a bunch more keys. I think that's poison. It's funny how the keys were red. But this is just a peek at the room above. Ah, they kept the... Oh, the Kirby's are no longer pink, now they're yellow. The sleepy Kirby's. They seem less Kirby-like this way. Oh, yeah. So I think there's magic behind these doors here. Yeah. So these doors actually led to nothing in the original MSX2 version, which was weird. It was just a dead end. And because of the scrolling thing, you also couldn't see that coming. I guess you could on the Famicom, so it made no sense to have a trap like that where you could just see that there's nothing. Or made less sense, I don't know. It still kind of makes some sense, but if you know this game well, you know there's sort of a what you see is what you get aspect to it, where like there are secrets, but they're not arbitrary. Like there's only one type of block that you can break on this level, and it will always look the same. So up here is some bread. Yeah. And here that enemy showed me I could just fly through here. Ah, there we are. Do I want to check this chop? I guess I will, just to see what's in it. Another crack at the key rod, and a cheap elixir. So they could be good supplies if you need them. Funny thing about the elixirs, like they're only... Being able to buy one deep in the dungeon isn't that useful. They're more useful if you come prepared. So they often seem to come at what looks like desperation prices, but it's like, if you're desperate, you would need to find an inn before you can use it. So I always thought that was mechanically weird. There's a shortcut through the roof here somewhere. At least I thought there was. Maybe there isn't in the MSX version. Oh, there's a shortcut there. I'm going to take that. This should get me to the armor. Yep. So now I have the armor. I don't think I'm going to use it for anything. I need to use the wings to get across here. Do not have much magic left, though. Oh, thank you. There's an inn. See if I can take care of this enemy before I take a nap. Oh, right. So once again, I need the wings to cross these spikes. Now, this is the Hall of Doors, and this is where you get the high jump boots. I bought them. I just grinded out 95 gold and bought them. So there was an extra cool thing in this room where you have these blue enemy, the red enemy, they're just like one line tall. But together they do enough damage that you can't get through there in one shot. You need to bring an elixir with you if you want to get through there and then come out alive, which is almost hilarious. It took me a while to figure out how to get through there in my first playthrough. Ooh, that's not good. I don't think there's any more enemies before the inn. So I guess I'm okay. And I'll just fly over this final enemy here. Okay. So, we're finally approaching the room with the crown in it. Here we are. First step, I need to whack this block. So I had to jump to activate the weapon. You have to be holding the jump button to use your item, or most of your items, like the rod at least. Just kind of goofy, but that's how it works. But in that case, there's a ladder there, so jumping will make you go up the ladder, and also you can't unlock any doors while it's flying around here. Alright, so I think I'm done with my whacking stick. Forever now. Unless I die to this boss. But as you can see, this is a lengthy dungeon. Okay, so I've still got a bit of magic, so I'm going to clear out the rest of the doors there with my key rod here. And that'll give me a clear path all the way to the end. Gotta make sure my magic doesn't run down here. Still got 50, I'm good. Okay. So, at this point, I can sleep at the inn and all the doors will stay unlocked. They only relock if you exit the room. I was very thankful. That's something you definitely learn when trying to complete that room that is a big hall of mirrors. Okay, so this is a sleeping enemy. So also I need to make sure I don't run out of magic there, otherwise I can't use the wing to get in here. Okay, so now I'm ready to fight the boss. I need to get equipped. So I need the wing to fly up there, but I don't need anything else. The shield protects me from its shots. Let's just unload here. And the magic will give me more stamina so that I can fight it longer. I think that should be enough to take it out. But this enemy is annoying. You have to take some damage to move through it. If I killed it, it might drop some bread, but it might drop poison instead. Gold. Useless gold. Who needs gold at this point? So... I'll just take a few hits. Okay, so we've got the shield on, so we don't have to worry about bullets. And they are coming. Alright, that was good. I don't think I can... Oh no, 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 no. Okay, backup strategy. Fell. I should have used the wings to fly. Okay, well. Thus ends my no-death run. That's harsh, because Maina's got a long dungeon. I could have done it, but I fell. I fell. Okay, I think I can do that a little faster the second time. Because I was kind of sightseeing a little bit. It's probably worth fighting enemies just in case one of them drops a scroll. Didn't mean to throw that, but guess I did. Hoping for a scroll. So, like, I won't check out this shop, or, like, any of the shops. I've seen them all now. There's nothing I need to buy. Down, down, down. Don't need to visit this inn. Still doing pretty nicely with my health. Scroll, yeah, that'll save some time. Always happy to receive a scroll. Okay. So we start using up these. Yeah, the scroll is so. Oh, I just wore off. That might have been a ring, I couldn't tell. I think I want the bread. There is an inn in the next room. But there's a couple of inns in the basement. I think I'm safe without it. I'm just gonna keep going. Keep on chugglin'. I think that's a bread, I can just grab it. Alright, so I don't really need to do much in this room. Just fly up there. So, I think there's an inn coming up soon, so I won't go all the way to the left for an inn either. Just keep going this way. That chest over there was just a crystal ball, which I don't need. There's bread right here. So I'm a little low on magic, but that's okay. So up there is just a view of the chest, the crown chest. So I can just jump down here. Lion's not going to hassle me today. At least not fast enough for it to matter. Oh, I hate this one enemy that just jumps on you and damage until you get out of the way. Did I pick up a ring? That's nice to have. There's a shop over here. Yeah. Don't know what I just picked up. This is some bread. Don't really need it, but don't really mind it either. So my magic is a little bit low here, but I think I should be coming up on an inn shortly. Next room has a shop. And the room below has an inn. Okay, so this is a little bit tight. So I'm avoiding shooting any of these enemies. I've got lots of life, but if I run out of magic, I can't act against critical things, so I think it's best to just take the hit. Now, there's an inn here? Yes. Here, I can afford to waste my last magic. Okay. So that was much quicker than the first time. And I think that's about halfway through our dungeon. So here's my 3 keys. Oh, I was trying to avoid whatever that enemy was going to drop, but I ended up picking up... Actually, it might have been a scroll, so that's maybe a bonus. This is free magic. Might as well get it. A little top up. I'm only down like 20 magic. Well, before I use the doors to get there, but maybe that wasn't worth it. I don't know. Well, I'm at 97 now, so here we go. Another crawl through the invisible maze room, but this is a short one. This room has a shortcut. No curiosity about this shop this time. Might as well fly through here. Alright. So I did not find a hole in the ceiling here, which I really think there should be one. I think there should be... Oh, there it is. Okay, so it does exist. I just missed it last time. So there are... Used up a lot of magic there. That's okay. The next room's full of inns. Actually, this room has an inn too. And since I'm going to make it to the next one, no problem, I'll just skip this one. That enemy hit me? That enemy hit me? Why? Are they allowed to hit me from there? So, here we go. I'm on this floor. Oh! So those are spikes I can just walk across. My life is low. Oh no. Watch out for a red line on the floor, or a green line. This one we can actually see. Okay. I'm gonna stay at this end. So not far to go now. Oops. Back to needing the wing. Can't hit this enemy without taking damage, so just walk through it. Same here. So I might as well stay at the inn again. Got the gold. I'm not going to use it for anything else. Once his boss is done, there's nothing left to do in the game except beat the... well, recover the sword. I haven't done that yet, but that won't take long, I don't think. Right, I need to hold jump on the way down here. Wrong item. Wrong item. There we go. That's an annoying spot for it. The most annoying spot would be if it got lodged in this very corner, which I have seen happen once. Not to me, but I've seen it happen. Okay, so... do I have enough magic to finish out the keys in this room? I think I'm good for that. So I'm gonna keep going. Take damage, keep walking. And we'll just unlock all these doors here. Didn't want to waste that much extra, but as long as I have like 30 magic left over by the time I get through these doors, we're fine. And we could use keys instead of magic if it was getting really tight. Now, the thing to worry about... I'll wait for this poison. You gotta worry about running out of magic and not being able to fly back up to the inn. That's the one critical thing. And you only need like 5 magic to do that, but you need it. Can't run out. And... okay, this enemy I can kill. Maybe it'll give me some magic. This enemy has thankfully disappeared. Wow. Very thankful. Okay, that's all I needed. Glad that hadn't respawned yet. Okay. So, now we get to pick our equipment for the boss. Gonna be the same set. And I'm gonna try not to be stupid with it this time. So I need the shield, magic, and still the wings. So back here, force damage against that enemy. Don't need to fight it though. Just walk on by. This one is also force damage, because it's asleep. If the enemy is asleep, it won't take damage. Just get in there. Okay. So that must have been like 20 minutes. So we don't want this boss over there. We want it right there. So I guess if I walk to the left, it'll walk away. And it approaches again. Just hope I don't run out of magic. I think I'm doing pretty good though. I've got half my magic, and I think I'm approaching like halfway through the boss. Don't think I'll get it in one shot, but don't think I'll need much extra magic to finish it off. However, my life is super low. I'm glad the shield doesn't like take magic to block a projectile or something. Oh, wow. 9 magic left. Didn't even use the magic bottle. Alright. 4 crowns down. We can go get the Dragon Slayer. The titular Dragon Slayer. That's what this game's all about. Okay, so the boy's turn. I like how he's sitting on the floor here. That's a detail I'm not sure. Actually, I want to... Not that I should need it, but I always like checking the password just in case. Okay. So here we go. So the boy needs to carry one of the crowns. It's funny, you need to collect 4, but you only need to have 1. Otherwise, spike shoes are always good. High jump boots I think I will need to clear the volcano. Oh wow, the boy's face looks different. I guess because it's in monochrome now. They redrew it, but... So I can just do that. Now... I'm wondering if this is the same shortcut it is in the MSX2 version. I forget where it goes. No, it's... Oh. Not a useful shortcut. So I just wasted some time. I could kind of use this shortcut to get back, but it's dicey. Wow. Okay, I did it without taking damage. Normally, you need to take a lot of damage to that mimic there. It does like 40 damage or something. It's pretty rough. Okay, so that shortcut me back to the start, but that's better than having to walk all the way back. So, we don't use this teleport. Which means I don't think there's any faster way than the normal route. I have to check them all to be sure, but I'm not going to do that now. I could check in my editor or something. Oh, well, the teleports should be the same as the NES version. I wouldn't expect them to change, but I mean, something's changed, so... So that teleport, I don't know where it goes. So it possibly could save me time, but I doubt it. I think at this point I just need to crawl in here. So let me prove to you that heroes can get up that ladder without using the high jump boots. So like anyone can get into Lil's dungeon. The only problem is this trap in here. You can't climb out of that on your own without the boots. You can, however, wait for an enemy to come by and give you a boost. Don't need the inn yet. I will skip it for now. So, the first teleport that is useful is this one, which will take us to above the Dragon Slayer. So we can see the sword down there that we so dearly need. But we can't get to it yet. We've got to fall down and down and down to a volcano. Just down here. A little further. There's the volcano. What was in this shop again? Did I check it? No. 30-30. So I don't need either of those at this point, but... Ooh, that'd be cruel if you fell in there without the boots. Because I think you'd be waiting a long time for one of these slimes to come and get you out. Now this part... you are at the mercy of the slimes as well. You gotta wait for this one to come here so you can jump off of it. Oh, I just missed it. Almost had it on the first try. So the best thing to do is just to keep jumping out of here if it doesn't come left. That's some bad luck. It should be 50-50, I think. Come on. Ah. Oh. Maybe this one will help? Come on back. Ah, no. So if it doesn't work out, there's an inn nearby, but... Oh, no, I had to hold up to climb it, and I didn't. 50 magic, 40 life. Likely... Oh, wow, I'm doing badly with this. I had a couple of good chances with it, but... failed every one of them. Okay. Well, there we go. I made it through. And there is a shop over here, or an inn. I think I'm just going to use it just for safety's sake. Well, I don't need it, but might as well. I'm halfway there to the Dragon Slayer. Okay, so into this one. Okay. The teleport load is really ungraceful, it looks like. There's always like a wrong screen. Okay, so when you go in this one, you have to hold left so that you land on a platform, because the spot you come out is not over solid land. There we go. I always worry about that one. And then it's a quick shot here, and now you've got the Dragon Slayer. And here we are back in Pochi's dungeon. You could just get out of here naturally, but it's easier just to use an inn here. To switch out for a crystal ball. Getting out of this, well, I did it with Zaman earlier, and it would be the same. But no real point in doing it. Just do this. Alright. So, we've got the Dragon Slayer. It's time to slay the dragon with the Dragon Slayer. Now, in the NES version, the dragon's name was Keela. But in the MSX2 version, I think it was called, like, Desaguila or something like that. It was a very strange name. So, at this point, all we need is sword. But I'll take these things on the way, because they just make it quicker and easier to get down there, I think. Just climb down this ladder, jump up there. Put on the spiky shoes. I don't know if I should even bother healing up before I go fight the dragon, because I should get unlimited magic. And strategy for hitting the dragon, like, you outrange it. Hopefully it only has 100 hit points like in the NES version, but find out. So yeah, so I'm at 91 life. There's no point in me all 79. Whatever. Here we go. Oh! Diddleguios. Okay. Oh, this is going to be the long fight. Hi there, Ragnarok. You are just in time to see the Dragon Slayer in action. Oh, I'm not gonna like this fight. This is gonna be a fight I wish I had auto fire for. Maybe I should just do this. This fight seems a little more... This is more like the MSX2 version. In the NES one, you did more damage to the per hit. And the MSX2 one, you did 1 damage per hit, which I think is the same as this. Oh no, he's allowed to corner me. He's allowed to corner me! He never did that when I played the MSX2 version. I don't know if he was allowed to, but... That's not fair. That's not fair at all. Now, I want to take, like... Because I don't like that. Okay. Sometimes it's a bit fussy about where you click to get started. So 2 deaths so far. I wasn't expecting any, but... That dragon surprised me. More detail? They have kind of different details. I don't think they're really more detailed, but they are differently detailed. I don't know. They're pretty close. Like, all the enemies are reduced to just 1 color. But the items on the inventory screen are done, I guess, as background, which has, I think, like 2 colors per tile or something like that. Or maybe 3 colors, I don't know. I don't quite know all the details of MSX graphics, but... Okay, that'll... I can just walk. I was hoping for a... thing. So, I guess I might as well... Oh, I wanted that. Maybe the scroll will last. Oh, here also the inn is on the left instead of the right. That's unlike the NES version. So I want to see if I can approach this from the right side. No, only from the left. Okay. So... Oh, that strategy's not going to work. Okay, so what do I do if the dragon corners me? And why does it not seem to be taking any damage? He's just coming for me. Okay, so this final boss is gonna be a pain. So what I actually wanted to do was get under the fire and hit it from up close, but I don't know if that strategy is viable in this version. Now the MSX2 version played like the NES version, except you did less damage, so the fight took a lot longer. And the hitbox for the dragon might have been a little more specific, I'm not sure. So this seems like the MSX2 version, except the dragon seems to be able to corner you. I'm not certain it can't in the MSX2 version, and I'm not even certain it can't in the NES version, but I haven't seen it in many fights with the final boss, so I don't think it can. So I think that might be a problem only in this version. That bugs me a bit. Like a little bread, maybe. Save me the time of going to the inn. Well, I guess I'll just go to the end. It's just like 10 seconds. I wait for these guys to pass before I jump down. There. So let's just run for it. No, it hit me back. I wanted to get under the flames, so how do we... How do we keep it from advancing forever? Oh, it kicked me back! I don't think there's a safe spot under its flames in this version. Am I gonna beat this? I gotta see if I can't use the elixir in this version. The fun part of the game is getting the crowns? Well, I mean, that's 95% of the game, I think. I would say that the boss fights are not great in general. They're manageable. The first boss fight is kind of fun. Second one was okay, and then they just go... They go too far. Yeah, solving the puzzles needed to get to the crowns is very interesting. Okay, so let's try different... Well, let's try and just take some elixirs in the Dragon Slayer, and we'll see if it does not let me use them. I don't think it would let me use them, but I might as well try, because I think they will display on the screen. Sneak in here. No, they're not even on the screen. Can pause. This version was pretty much the same as the Famicom version. Like, there's not... There are some tiny differences, and then the graphics had to be redone, but... And then this dragon is quite different. But for the most part, it's very close. The original MSX2 version had a few areas that were significantly different, but it still felt like pretty much the same game. I don't know, I can't really hit him when he's breathing fire because I can't be in range. So I don't know. Well, maybe I could take damage and hit him, but I don't know. But it's really weird to me that this is now apparently the toughest part of the game. So as far as I know, this is the third version of the game they made. So they made the MSX2 version. They decided to do a bunch of tweaks as they were preparing the Famicom version. There was knockback? Yes. He did kick me back earlier when I tried to go in close. In the NES version, you could run underneath the flames. That doesn't seem to work in this version. I'm gonna take the armor, shield, and sword, not expecting them to do anything, but what if? What if these did something? That is the chance I'm taking here. So I haven't tried diagonal shots? Okay, that doesn't seem very viable. Seems like I want to hit it roughly in the neck. And I don't know what to do if it does this. I really don't. At this point, I'd kind of want to look up a guide, but I don't know if I'd be able to find one in English. Let me see if I can. Walk through Rose's final task. Bosses section of the guide. Dragon King. You cannot change items. After approaching you for a while, he will hop into the air and float back to the right. Yeah, sure he will. Okay, so this guide doesn't... doesn't cover this. It's got MSX2 changes, but that's not helpful here because MSX2 version doesn't have this problem. The thing is, I'm also playing like the version of this game that no one would normally play because it's the black sheep of them, you know? Because it's not the original MSX2 version, and it's inferior to the Famicom version, basically, so I don't know. Let's see what GameFAQs says. One cheat secret, music test. Well, that's not useful. Against the boss. I don't know. I was hoping there was a helpful hint somewhere out there, but I couldn't find one. So, I don't know, it's been pretty consistent, but for some reason it didn't... Like, the first time I fought this boss, it seemed to jump back once or twice, and then it hasn't since, or at least like in the last like 3... I should just plow through here. Turn around if I see a scroll, but otherwise... Stupid poison. I kind of wonder if you can do damage to his feet. So he just flapped his wings there, but why? Is there... Like, did I do something to cause it? I have a feeling every time you damage him, he breathes fire and takes a step forward. So if you try and do too much damage to him at once, he'll get I'm locking him into advancing. I think that's what's happening. That's my theory. And if that's true, then this should be very possible. All I need to do is just hang back. It'll be a longer fight, which is annoying. And it's already annoying because it's going to be a long fight, but I feel like if I don't attack him when he's on the left, he will fly back. I think that's what why it's not happening. I got too good at hitting him too fast. And it has backfired. If that's the case, it's like odd that they would have... Well, I guess they were reprogramming it or something. I don't know. The one thing I do really like about this version is all the boss meters, since they're just numerical, they do go above 100, or 109 rather. So you don't have a situation like you did in the NES version and in the MSX2 version where you just can't tell if you're doing damage to a boss or not. I think I'm too impatient to wait for the poison and I'm just gonna go. Still trying to see if I can do this without taking damage. Almost. Okay. So, when it gets a bit to the left, So he always makes the roar after getting hit, so... There, I just needed to give him a break. Alright. So we got it now. Give the dragon some breathing room. That's funny. I think I'm going to add this tip to that wiki I was looking at. That's funny, it seemed to fly away that time without my help, or without me letting up. Like it roared and then it flew. Maybe it does sometimes. Alright. Now, finally outpacing it a little bit. Should be no problem at this point. Unless I get hit by accident. Yeah, so this is very different. Like that whole... We're basically stun locking the dragon. Kinda. But in an advancing stun lock. Oops. Actually, the damage from it isn't too bad. I think that's less than in the NES version. It's just the possibility of getting trapped is the... I like the wiggling arms. So, this dragon feels more colorful than the NES one. Well, it's got those yellow wings. And it's got, like, gray and white, and then 2 colors of red, instead of being all yellow. Oh. Might not get it after all. It's actually safest to attack it after a breeze fire, I think. Ugh. Because I know when it's going to end. Usually. Okay. Let it back off again. This is surprisingly close. Despite feeling like I know how it acts. Getting the first shot in to start this cycle of... See, it sometimes walks through. It's not like 100%. Oh. What are we doing here? Okay, it's back under my life. I think I can survive one more hit, maybe. But I don't want to take the chance. Oh, cool. Okay, they added like a whole animated death. So the dragon's more detailed. And they skipped the ending walk back to the home in your Sunday best. And the cast doesn't scroll. That's interesting. Well, there we go. So I'm wondering if it has the post-credits T thing, like, well, I don't know why that's called tea time, but that's how it's called in the soundtrack description, or one of the soundtrack descriptions. But, like, post-credits, there was just random views of the game. Snake Kid. Royd Moon. Moo. Moo was those lines in the ground, and they would like pop up. Kind of like this dripping head thing. Mimic. Lizard Man. There's a lizard man. Here, I have a lizard man. Oops. Laru, that's the cat girl. There's memes in this. Don't forget the memes. Dedrudeth Gadado. And it's still called Flail Snail, but it only has 2 eyes in this one, so it doesn't look so flaily. Scenario Staff. So the only version of this game I have not played through yet is the Famicom one, but I know the Famicom one is so close to being identical to the NES one that I'm not sure I'd notice anything different except the credits. Oh, you have a copy of Lizard on the way? Well, I hope it gets there in a timely manner, but yeah, everything's moving slowly these days. Some things not at all. So hopefully the delay isn't too long. Dragon Slayer Famery Quintet. They didn't fix Famery. That was in the MSX2 version as well. There's the Dragon's Roar. So... oh, it has the extra music. So I think they cut out the extra boss themes, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't paying too close attention to the boss music. But I think they cut those out. But they left this in. And they left in Pochi's music. I'm really curious whether Pochi's music is in the Famicom version. I could actually check. So in the MSX2 version, at this point, it just started putting like random character in a random room in the game, and it would just show a shot, like a still, like it was stills from your adventure, but it was clearly just randomly generated, and it just went on infinitely. I watched it for like 10 minutes, and it was just the same stuff over and over. Or not the same stuff because it was random, but like the same random thing over and over. Just pick a room, pick a tile, character appears there. Alright. So at this point, I don't think you can even quit. You'd have to reset the game. So that was Dragon Slayer 4 for the MSX. Not the original version, as I thought initially. The original version was the MSX2 version. This was a sort of backport from the Famicom version, which was kind of the second version of the game. And then the NES version was basically a carbon copy of the Famicom version, but released in the US by Broderbund. So yeah. that's it. Didn't really have too much differences. The extra little animation on the dragon was kind of cool. Having working counters for the boss health was very good to have. You know that you're actually doing damage for like the first half of the fight, which would have been really critical for learning the bosses. That really held me back in the NES version, not knowing if I was doing damage or not. But all in all, I'd still say the NES version, NES for Famicom version, is the best version of this game. And then MSX2 has a little bit of extra music. And this one has this one extra tune, I think. And it has Pochi's original theme.